Well, the Astros didn't end the season the way that most Astros fans wanted them to. A loss to Texas. They lose a series 1-5 on the homestand, but they did make a pretty exciting pick in the first round of tonight's MLB Draft. We're going to break this all down on this edition of Locked On Astros.
Jainel Diaz, this is Locked On Astros.
Hello and welcome to Locked On Astros, your daily Astros podcast. Here are your hosts, Eric the Man Huysman and Brett H-Town Wheelhouse Chancey.
We are Locked On Houston Astros, and we update you joins for a daily Locked On Astros podcast. My name is Eric Huysman. You can find me on X at Eric Talkstros. Find the show at Locked On Astros, your team every day. Brett, where can I find you at?
They can find me at HM Wheelhouse on X, Instagram, and TikTok, at Stros411 on X and on Facebook, and at Wheelhouse Media Company on YouTube, on Spotify, on iHeartRadio. I'm always positive, always Stros. Eric, you got a new setup. Look at you with your new background, the bright colors. I love it, man.
Yeah, I'm actually standing up right now. I've got a standing up desk too. So I moved away from the dining room table. But guys, thank you for making Locked On Astros podcast your first listen every day, whether it's on YouTube. Go ahead, subscribe to us. Go ahead and make us your first listen. Apple, Odyssey, Spotify, wherever you listen to your podcast, go and check us out. Today's episode is brought to you by Game Time. Download the Game Time app, create an account, and use the code LOCKEDONMLB for $20 off your first purchase. So, Brett, I know this series did not go, I guess this week did not go the way the Astros would have wanted, but the Astros are still 5 games up on the Mariners at this point. It's not like doom and gloom, like I think a lot of people are freaking out, but it is time to hit the reset button. Maybe if you go back to old school, go and get those Nintendo cartridges and go and blow into them a little bit, or just go and get your iPhones and just go and do a hard reset. Just go and get your computers, just whatever you need to reset. Let's just go and reset things. Just take a break and just let things go.
But will a hard reset like uninjure players?
No, we'll have to see what Dana Brown had to say about that. But we did get some promising, maybe possible. It's hard to know what's going on with Astros injuries, but we'll hear something about what Dana Brown had to say. And the Astros have a future shortstop that they drafted today. So we'll go and talk about this and more on this edition of the Locked On Astros podcast. So, Brett, the Rangers, they're not having their best season, and you would think that this would be easy series for the Astros, but Marcus Semien, he came out of his shell, and all of a sudden he's hitting like Marcus Semien did. And the Rangers overall, they outpitched the Astros, and they really won this series.
Yeah, I mean, there's no two ways about it. Hunter Brown looks pedestrian for a second straight start. He looks tired. They came back and had a valiant comeback victory, which I actually went live after that game because I had to. I knew you were taking care of getting your house in order, with your new digs and everything, but I couldn't miss the chance because the night before it was a pretty big letdown. You like the Astros' chances going into the series winning 2 of 3 simply because they had Framber Valdez and Hunter Brown, and you hoped Hunter Brown, foregoing the All-Star game and pitching this game, was like, I'm going to have a bounce back start. He wouldn't hit in the zone. Everything he threw in the zone, they were hitting, and it just was not a good day at the office. And I think someone like him could stand to take a break, step away, because Hunter Brown still has been one of the top 2 pitchers in the American League in 2025, regardless of what's happened the last 2 starts.
Yeah, and I know Hunter Brown, he's been Mr. Consistent all year round. And everybody, even the best of pitchers, they go through these like little ruts, and that's what he's in. And it's actually a good time to maybe just take a break. And it's good that he's not pitching the All-Star game. And hopefully the Astros don't pitch him right after the break. I know he's going to need the 4 or 5 days off anyway, but go ahead and have some of your other starters go ahead and pitch right after the All-Star break. Give Framber Valdez a couple of days off, extra days off, and let them kind of recharge, because you need these guys in the postseason. You need these guys for the long haul. I know that Joe Spada made the decision, and as important as the All-Star game is likely for maybe Hunter Brown and pitching in it, that'd be awesome to pitch an All-Star game. But he had that conversation with Hunter Brown, and they said, well, we think it would be best for you to pitch for the Astros. Unfortunately, it didn't go the way he wanted, but the last 2 games, it hasn't been what Hunter Brown did. But 5 innings, 5 hits allowed, 4 earned runs, 2 walks, and 8 strikeouts. And his ERA is still 2.43 on the season. So he's not eliminated from Cy Young talk, but he's kind of, it's hurting his chances a little bit.
Well, I think he's just going to have a better second half. He's going to have to bounce back. I mean, he is 9-4. Again, like you mentioned, his ERA is sub 3. And at the end of the day, I think his body of work is going to speak for itself. Right. It just depends on who in the second half catapults himself into that lead, because Skubal is also, he's a human being. He's not an android. So he could have a fall off. We sure? saw that we saw that that Detroit got swept. Yeah. So if that team is prone to being able to be swept, then that means Skubal is prone to get tagged for some losses. And every pitcher, there are very few pitchers who go out and have, well, probably none that ever had every start that's flawless. But I still have a lot of trust in Hunter Brown and who he is. And I'm glad he made the decision to pitch. And someone like Hunter, to me, comes across as, when he goes through rough patches like this, it only makes him better, because he goes to the drawing board. He looks at what wasn't working. He looks where he makes some mistakes. So that's where I trust. We're talking about reset button. Hunter Brown will watch this. He won't even think about these last 2 starts come his next start, because going into the second half, we've got Seattle right out of the gate. So definitely going to be some stiff competition sooner rather than later. Okay.
Who is this batter? This batter, don't look at the lineup from today.
Okay.
This batter is batting 286 with a 872 OPS. Who's this batter?
Zach Short.
Yes, and he had a home run today. This guy is contributing, and he's playing great defense, and he had the walk-off hit on Saturday. It was his first official walk-off hit. I know he had a walk-off fielder's choice in his career, but this was his first walk-off hit. But I know we kind of mocked that when he came up, that this is going to be the next future star for the Astros, and he's going to be World Series champion or whatever. But he has definitely made his impact felt on the Astros, definitely in a time where Jeremy Pena is going to be definitely out for a little bit. We'll talk about Jake Myers a little bit later. But Zach Short, he's been coming up. He hasn't been coming up short. Let's just say that. And Susan made a comment. She said, look at this lineup. Sometimes you're like, who are these people? And that's just what the Astros have been dealing with. And they've been playing with a lot of luck and then a lot of experience, a lot of people playing over their heads. And we kind of saw that this was coming. Doesn't mean that they're not a good team. I still think that they're a good team. They'll be a great team once some other players get back. But right now, they are kind of hitting this little rut where the law averages are coming back to them.
Yeah, I think right. Yeah, I think things are catching up a little bit.
Right.
I'm not overly concerned. And we'll talk about the injury updates in our second segment. But the only thing I don't like about the Texas Rangers is, if their offense does get hot for over a month, they do have the pitching that's actually doing a good job. And I didn't foresee that happening early on. Seattle with the same thing. But these teams in the West, they do that. They get hot at a certain point in the season when it doesn't count or matter. And then everybody freaks out. And then the postseason gets here and all things become normal, where the Astros reign supreme. So the Astros' road to supremacy in the AL West, I don't think is that hard to see, but it is going to be imperative that players come back. It is going to be imperative that players continue to contribute, and it's going to be imperative that outside of Hunter Brown and Framber Valdez, somebody else like Spencer Arrighetti, someone needs to come along and step up. And I think that other arm is probably not on this team right now, probably will be in a trade acquisition sometime down the road.
Yeah, we'll have to talk about some trade deadline stuff sometime this week. We'll go ahead and make some time for a trade deadline talk. But guys, thank you for making Locked On Astros podcast your first listen every day.
We've all been there, logging on early and waiting forever for concert tickets to go on sale, only to lose your spot for a show you've been dying to see. Well, live music should be about making memories, not dealing with the stress of ticket shopping. That's where Game Time comes in. Game Time makes getting concert tickets faster and easier than ever. Prices actually drop as you get closer to showtime, and you can save 60% off with their killer last-minute deals. Tired of endless scrolling and trying to find the best deal? Well, Game Time Zone Deals picks the best seat for you in the section that you want. Ever wonder what your view will actually look like before you buy? Well, the app shows you a panoramic seat view, so there are no surprises. With Game Time, the price you see is the price you pay. No hidden fees. Worry about what happens if you change plans. That's okay. They've got the Game Time guarantee that has your back with cancellation protection and more. Take the guesswork out of buying concert tickets and showtime tickets at Game Time. Download the Game Time app and create an account. Use the code Locked On MLB for $20 off your first purchase. Terms apply. Again, create an account and redeem the code LOCKEDONMLB for $20 off. Download the Game Time app today. Last minute tickets, lowest prices guaranteed.
Hey guys, thank you for making Locked On Astros podcast your first listen every day. Whether it's on YouTube, go ahead, subscribe to us. Go ahead and make us your first listen. Apple, Odyssey, Spotify, wherever you listen to podcasts, go and check us out. So go and check out the Locked On Astros podcast as well with Michael Connor. He does a great job, and thank you for making us part of your daily routine. We are already almost close to 15,000 subscribers. We are halfway there. So we are 14.5 K. So we just need 500 more people to get to 15,000 subscribers. So go and make us your first listen every day. So Brett, I know that Jake Myers is probably coming back to the lineup sometime this right after All-Star break, right? Is that what we're hearing?
No.
Wait, well, but he was just about to play the other day. I mean,
Jake Myers?
Yeah. I mean, isn't like he was ready to play the other day, right? So that means he's ready to play shortly after.
I see what you're doing here. You're being sarcastic. Oh, yes. I was like, what? No, he's going to be out another 3 weeks. He's going to be out 3 weeks. And so that absolutely sucks. But, you know, it is what it is, man. This return to play protocol, and whether it's the trainer's fault or not, I don't know. Whether it's the doctor's fault or not, I don't know. It's just all seems to be a big, ugly mess. And it sucks because Jake Myers was having a career year into July. He didn't drop off in June like some had predicted. And he's been a staple in that outfield. Now, Taylor Trammell, he's not Jake Myers, but he's made some admirable catches out there in center field. And that's what this team has been about. They have been about stepping up. That's why they have a 5-game lead in the AL West. Even though they go 1-5 at home, they still lead by 5 games. That's how good they've been without their main players in. So Dana Brown gave up updates on other injuries as well. We know that Yordan Alvarez is not yet swinging a bat. Still not doing that, but he's going to be reevaluated on Thursday.
And they're hoping that he comes back sometime after the break. I'm not making that up. That's they're hoping that he's going to be healthy, and they said that there's no pain in the hand, so the hand is not an issue anymore. It's just the strain that he was dealing with in his arm. So once he's healed from that, he should be able to start making his comeback. And they're hoping to expedite this. And I'm like, every time I hear the word expedite, I'm like, isn't this the problem? You try to rush the guy back, and then it pushes him back even more. And so it's just frustrating. But Dana Brown did say that I think that we're the best team in our division and the best team in the league, sitting in first place. in a good spot, exactly where we want to be despite losing. And I think it's where we should be. And Hunter Brown said on today's outing, I really wouldn't change anything. I thought they put the bat on some good pitches. It just wasn't my best day. So, but Jake Myers. So let's talk a little bit more about Jake Myers.
Okay. What about Jake Myers? I just got through talking about him.
Okay. The 3 weeks thing. Yeah.
Yes. That's what I was talking about. Yeah. Yeah.
Okay. So, wasn't there another update that we haven't talked about?
Not for Jake Myers.
Oh yeah, Spencer Arrighetti is who I was thinking of. Spencer Arrighetti.
Yeah. Okay. Yeah. No. Spencer Arrighetti.
Christian Javier also. He had a Christian Javier had his first rehab appearance.
Okay, Eric.
I've been distracted. Okay.
Okay. So, what about Christian Javier? He had a rehab start.
Yes, he had a rehab start, and it was he pitched, I believe it was 1.5 innings or something, 1 2/3 innings, something like that. So that was this past weekend. Dana Brown said that Javier's ahead of Garcia in his rehab. He was at 95 miles per hour yesterday. He's going to help us this year. Garcia is up to 94, but it's going to take him a little bit longer. And Dana Brown said they're taking it slow with Pena. I think it might be, but he might be one of the first of our guys to come off the IL. And then also something about Arrighetti. What was it about Arrighetti? Arrighetti could begin a rehab assignment in a week and a half. And he's throwing live BP in Florida.
So this is what he said about Yordan Alvarez. He said once that's he said he'll be reevaluated. Once that's over, the doctor could potentially clear him to start swinging the bat. So that's a good thing. Like you said, week and a half here, throwing that BP in Florida, like you mentioned. Christian Javier, and he basically said Christian Javier is going to help this team this year. Luis Garcia too. That's what Dana Brown says. And so we really hope that that's the case. Regardless of these guys coming in and helping, Eric, I still think they need to get somebody at the trade deadline. I think it's imperative. I think it's imperative that they get a bat and an arm. The problem is, what will the cost be? And that really is the catch-22. But you know that GMs are going to be on the phone. Dana Brown's going to be on the phone. I don't know if you caught the Jeff Lunau interview with Chandler Rome, but he talked about how a GM, you will tell someone no, and they will keep calling, and they will try to add pieces. And I think the Astros are the ones that will be seeking versus being sought after. But there are a lot of players that are up for grabs in Arizona. There are a lot of players that are up for grabs in Baltimore. So between those two teams, even I hear Taj Bradley is being rumored as tradable by the Rays. That's a guy that the Astros possibly could go get. But then again, what is the cost and how much will they want in return for those trades?
I've got the answer to the Astros offense issues. Francis Romero said that several teams have inquired about Adolis Garcia. So he could be the answer to.
Hold on. Okay. What?
Adolis Garcia.
The Astros?
No, several teams.
Oh.
So if the Rangers make him available, should we go after Royd?
Hell no. Royd boy? No, because he'll come here and get busted. He'll come here and they'll come up with a positive steroid test. They'll just you see that dude's noggin. Now, honestly, like
I'm kidding, guys.
No,
I don't want Garcia.
No, listen, baseball wise, he hits really well at Minute Maid Park.
Yeah, he does.
So can you imagine El Bombi being next to Yordan Alvarez? That would be the most bizarro world thing. That would be insane.
Right.
And then you know what? I want to do it now that I think about it, just to piss off Rangers fans and wear El Bombi Astros jerseys to Arlington in September. That would be hilarious. I mean, come on. Y'all know that would be great.
I think Astros fans have talked enough crap about him over the years that it'll be kind of a weird match with
Or
him.
should I get his number and put Royd's yes, please?
All right, guys. Thank you for making a Locked On Astros podcast your first listen every day. Hey, you. Yeah, you. Have you subscribed to us? That little red button down there, it's not because it's beautiful. It is a nice little color red, but all you have to do is hit that little red button and go ahead and subscribe to us. Help us get to 15,000 subscribers and make us part of your daily routine. Thank you for all our everydayers, so many people that listen to our podcast every day, and go and subscribe to us wherever you listen to our podcasts. So I know that we're talking a lot about Dana Brown's updates, and we're probably going to be talking a lot over the next week or so about trade deadline ideas and what the Astros should do. But right now, it's kind of draft season, and we do need to focus a little bit on that. But before we do, I do want to talk about Isaac Paredes. He did announce that he is not going to play in the All-Star game or even attend the event. There's something emergency that happened with his family that
it was an emergency. I just heard that it was he had a family. I thought he just didn't want to go, but there was a number. I mean, I don't know. Is that what we're hearing? Because I heard it in passing from somebody. So I don't know what the
either. It doesn't matter if it's emergency or just something to do with this family. And so it's an honor for him to go.
Instead will spend time with his family.
Okay. It's family, but it's something to do with his family. That's what I remember seeing. So, but this is kind of what I was talking about. That this is why people don't necessarily vote for the Astros, is because Astros players don't typically go to the All-Star game. And this is not knocking Paredes. I'm sure he wants his family.
We've had quite a few, and I just wonder if the All-Star game was in Houston, would they be doing that? Probably not, because they stay home. But the question is, Rob Manfred, does there need to be more incentive? Because more and more players are doing this. This isn't just Astros players. This is a lot of
Jose Ramirez did. Yeah.
Yeah. I mean, so it quite honestly, they're like, I need a week off, bro. Like, I mean, it's a really long weekend. And you know what, Cal Riley, I hope you win the home run derby. I hope you hit like 80 home runs and you throw your swing off. And the first series we meet you, you go over. That's what I'm hoping. I hope Big Dumper takes a big dump in the second half of the season, offensively speaking.
Clayton Kershaw is like, I don't know why I'm going to All-Star game, but thank you. Thank you, Rob Manfred. Thank you for the legacy nomination.
Right.
I don't deserve it, but
that's
I'll go.
Crazy. Look, all-star games are defunct. They're out of date, and they're just not. Look, the all-star vote is flawed. If you clearly have a guy that's popular, and how was Jordan Alvarez at one point fourth in the outfield vote or fourth in the DH vote? He hadn't played hardly, right? It's because he's Jordan Alvarez. Or how has Mike Trout
voting for him?
Right. Well, but how has Mike Trout in years he was injured? How has he been like nominated?
Popularity vote.
Exactly.
You vote for who you know about and who you've been voting for years. So.
Exactly. But look, at the end of the day, it doesn't matter. That's right. They are still getting $100,000 for making it to the All-Star. Yeah. But I'm just saying, maybe there needs to be an actual league mandate or incentive. I mean, this next CBA is going to be crazy because I hear that Rob Manfred and the owners want a salary cap.
You want more rules by Manfred? I thought you wanted.
I'm just saying, if Major League Baseball wants the All-Star game to be something that is represented by the best in the game,
make it count. This one counts.
Oh, that was so dumb. That was the worst rule. That's just as bad as the runner
this on determines the home field advantage for the World Series. Whoever wins this stupid game.
This year they'll be able to challenge balls and strikes.
Oh, okay.
Yeah. Oh, wow. That's exciting.
Yeah. What's exciting is the MLB draft. Let's go and switch gears.
Yeah,
here.
let's do that. So the Houston Astros selected a high school third baseman Xavier Nayans. Okay. This kid's from Mount Vernon, Washington. Let's look at his numbers. His grades are really, really good. His hit tool is 50. His power is 65. His run is 45, arm 60, field 50, and overall he's a 50 grade.
Hey, Brett, I want to interrupt real quick. That 65 is actually pretty impressive.
Yes.
This is actually above average, and this is something that's going to stand out as a shortstop. Definitely, if he stays a shortstop, and I think they're talking about him staying a shortstop. But 60, we don't really care about if he can run. But so overall, he's a average everything except for the run. But that power is going to be the difference there.
Yeah, exactly. And here is a little write-up that I found on him from the Just Baseball, the head of scouting over there. He is a left-handed bat. He throws right. He's 18. He's going to turn 19 soon, 6'5". Okay. He basically is in rare territory with his power, with his performance. It says right here, he has an advanced approach, top of the scale bat to ball skills, loud power from the left side. Offensive potential is sky high. His floor is really high. So if the floor of a player is high, that's good. If y'all remember back to when we talked about Jeremy Pena, when he was being told you're going to be the starting shortstop, we broke down Jeremy Pena, myself and Lindsey Crosby, and he talked about his floor and his ceiling. And where his ceiling was is where Jeremy Pena is right now. The power itself grades out as plus, like you mentioned, with natural loft and loud bat speed, playing all fields. He creates a tight coil with his core during his load, allowing his body to rotate rapidly and allowing his hands to explode through the zone against premier pitching. He's already tattooed baseballs at 110 plus. It's loud. So he has the tools to stick at the hot corner, though some scouts express concern about the footwork at the position they say is rather clunky. With that note out of the way, Nayans has soft hands, strong arm, and can handle the position. If he moves off third base, he'd get a chance at a corner outfield position. That's what early scouting grades said. But Eric, at the end of the day, this is a kid. This is the first position player that the Astros have taken since Kyle Tucker. And that is out of high school. This is the first high school position player that they've taken since Kyle Tucker. So that's a huge, in the first, that's a huge nod to this kid and what they think of him. So they think he's going to be a part of the future of this franchise.
He's 6'4", 210 pounds. They said that he also has a good combination of bat speed and zone control.
Right.
And this is a quote. This dude controls the zone really well for a high school hitter, and it stood out to our evaluators who spent time scouting Xavier. So
I watched several clips of him just hitting and playing. Kid's impressive. I like a position player out of high school more than I like a pitcher. I really thought they were going to go with Jace Loviolette out of A&M. There were some other guys. Aloy was a guy they were looking at. There was also a pitcher out of Arkansas that I thought they were going to get, but they went with him. And no, he's not going to be a September call-up, but he does have good enough stuff that it's a high potential that he will be a fast riser in the Astros system.
He is only 18, but I get what you're saying. He's been described as a baseball rat, and he also was a closer for the high school team.
Interesting.
He can throw 94, 95 miles per hour. Just because he was a closer for a high school baseball team, that does not mean he's gonna be the next Shohei Ohtani. But that would be interesting if the Astros did something.
Lance McCullers was a two-way player. He was a position player and a pitcher in high school. I mean, Lance McCullers misses hitting. Remember, he's talked about that quite a bit. So, and there are a lot of, most pitchers were position players going up through the ranks and their elite ranks. So I think this is a really good pick. There were several curveballs. We all thought Ethan Holiday was going to go first overall. He didn't go until fourth. to the Colorado Rockies. So there were a lot of surprises in this year's draft. The second overall pick, Eric, actually just lost his mother to cancer. And he said that when he lost her a couple weeks ago, that he was going to dedicate the rest of his baseball career to her. And he was picked second overall. And I thought that was really cool because no one had him top 2. I think they had him top 5, but it was really neat.
For those of y'all who want to know what the approximate pick value for the 21st overall pick is, it's $4.12 million. That's a signing bonus. So the Astros overall, they have where's that? They have about 7.1 billion. Sorry, not billion, but million bonus pool. $1 billion. I can't do that.
$7.1 billion for amateurs. Holy crap! We're going to be the Dodgers.
Don't forget that they did. They don't have a second round pick. I even asked Brett. I'm like, oh, let's maybe while we're doing a podcast, they'll get the second round pick done. He's like, they don't have one, but I just remembered that they signed Christian Walker, everybody's favorite first baseman. That's why they forfeited.
Well, we back on Christian Walker, dude. Christian Walker, man, it's like every time he starts trending up, he just looked bad. I mean, look, Nathan Eovaldi always looks good against the Astros, it seems like. But
no, that wasn't my best Dr. Evil impression. I would have to work on it, but yeah, definitely. We'll have to see if Dana Brown could do some evil things and draft some great players over the next couple of days. I know it's not just him drafting, but this is what he was brought in to do, to rebuild the Astros farm system. And a lot of people thought he was going to go with a college, just because the major league farm system is so thin, especially at the upper level. So I think that this was a shift of thinking. This is something they don't normally do. And so maybe they are trying to build towards the future a little bit and just try to ride out.
Definitely. No, they are. And, this is a kid that could probably play alongside Jeremy Pena. But like one of our listeners, Michael's saying, this was the most prep heavy drafts in a long time. A lot of, and what that means is kids out of high school. There were a lot of kids out of high school that were picked. And you know what? Some of these guys are going to take. Some of these guys in the college ranks that were highly touted are just not ever going to make it. And some of these guys, like Case Cunningham went to the D-backs. He's a shortstop second baseman out of Johnson High School in San Antonio, a phenomenal talent. But yeah, I was surprised that I thought Gage would. I thought Laviolette. Those were the two other guys that I thought the Astros were going to go after. And Weah Eloy didn't go all the way until the 31st round. I really thought he would go higher than 31. He went to Arkansas. I'm sorry. So he went 31st. I thought he was going to go in the top 20. But you never know. The number one guy could never make it. The number 60 guy could make it. But you had Mark McGuire's son in here. You had Ethan. You had Matt Holliday's son. You had there were like several. Jeff Kent's son, AJ Przinsky's son. I mean, there were a lot of former major league players. Their sons are now getting drafted by the pros.
I just want to point out, you did say he can maybe play alongside Jeremy Pena someday. Jeremy Pena only is under control for 2 more years. So the Astros have to extend him.
That's me anticipating him staying an Astro. Yes. That was my hopes in saying that. I was trying to manifest it, Eric, under the radar.
Okay. All right. So, guys, hopefully the Astros will take this all-star break, just collect their thoughts and just reflect on the mission that's ahead of them. The Mariners are charging. I didn't think the Mariners were just go quietly into the night. They're 5 games behind the Astros. You have a little bit of cushion, but the Astros just got to play some better baseball, and it starts against the Mariners. If you get 2 wins there, that puts them back at 7 I guess 6 games because they'll get a win too. But you've just got to play good baseball and just get back to winning. And you got to do that with the players you have right now until your injured players gets back, and until the not the All-Star break, and still until the trade deadline comes and you see what Dana Brown can do. But the farm system is pretty weak right now, and you don't have a lot to trade for.
They're being used, yes. So we got to get you back, guys. So all the players that are not healthy, let's get these guys back. We're going to give first half grades to the starters, the relief pitchers, to the overall performance of the team in this offense. And then we're also gonna look ahead. So even though it's All-Star week and there's no games, you will see us each night. We will try to come on regular time around 8:30. No need to go late during the week. But we will keep coming back here because we're your team every day.
All right, guys. Thank you for making Locked On Astros podcast your first listen. We will see you tomorrow, and
go Stros. Wow, with the new setup, you actually did it. I feel special now, Eric.
Silence you.